I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow, walking outside, and looking up. Massive, gleaming rings arc from horizon to horizon, like someone copy-pasted Saturn's jewelry onto Earth overnight. I'm going to walk you through exactly what would happen if Earth suddenly had rings. From the ground beneath your feet to the satellites overhead, everything changes. The consequences go way deeper than just pretty pictures. At the equator, rings would appear as a thin, bright line cutting straight through the sky. You're looking at them edge-on. Travel north or south, and they'd open into a spectacular arc. At mid-latitudes like New York or Tokyo, you'd see a broad band across the sky, brightest at dawn and dusk. During the day, the rings would cast a massive shadow, creating a band of permanent twilight sweeping across the planet as Earth rotates. At night, everything transforms. The rings would reflect sunlight back down, making nights significantly brighter. You could read a book outside at midnight without a flashlight. Stargazing gets complicated. The rings would wash out fainter stars but create a breathtaking backdrop no telescope has ever competed with. Seasonal changes would be dramatic. The angle of sunlight on the rings shifts throughout the year, cycling brightness and shadow patterns as familiar as moon phases. How could rings actually appear overnight? A small moon or massive asteroid could cross the Roche limit, the distance at which Earth's gravity rips an object apart before impact. Debris would spread into orbit, forming rings. These aren't solid structures. They're billions of chunks of ice, rock, and dust, each orbiting independently, from sand grains to house-sized boulders. If the rings are mostly ice like Saturn's, they'd be brilliant white. Rocky rings would be darker, reddish or gray. The structure would be complex, gaps carved by gravitational resonances, shepherd moons keeping lanes clear, density waves rippling through like traffic jams in space. But rings aren't permanent. They'd slowly spiral inward or outward, fading over millions of years without replenishment. Ring shadows would block measurable sunlight, cooling certain latitudes by a few degrees, enough to shift weather patterns and alter growing seasons. Increased albedo from bright rings would contribute to slight global cooling. Wildlife would be confused initially. Nocturnal animals rely on darkness. Brighter nights would disrupt hunting and mating. Birds navigating by stars might struggle. Marine life using moonlight for spawning would need to adapt to a sky that's never truly dark. For humans, stargazing traditions would change forever. Ancient constellations would be partially obscured, but we'd have a new celestial feature to map and mythologize. The rings would become constant in our sky, shaping not just science but art, poetry, and how we understand our place in the cosmos. Would rings affect gravity or tides? Surprisingly little. Ring mass would be tiny compared to Earth. Saturn's rings contain less mass than a small moon despite their size. But orbital mechanics get tricky. We'd see frequent ring rain, particles burning up in the atmosphere, creating nightly meteor showers. Spaceflight would become more hazardous and expensive, requiring better shielding and precise navigation. Culturally, rings would reshape everything. Navigation would require new star charts. Calendars might incorporate ring shadow cycles alongside moon phases. Architecture would frame rings at certain times of year. Festivals would celebrate shadow passages. Many cultures would see rings as divine signs or cosmic crowns, but over geological time, rings would decay. In 10 million years, maybe less, they'd be gone. Just thin dust and a chapter in Earth's history. If Earth grew rings overnight, we wouldn't just get a prettier sky. We'd get a new climate, a new night, and a new way of seeing ourselves in the universe. Every sunset would be a masterpiece, every midnight a little less lonely, and every generation would know that above them hangs something ancient, temporary, and utterly ours.